Boom, 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 boom. Tell me what you gonna do when it ain't nowhere to hide. Just because of you. Let me see. Oh, it's not giving me the option. Let me see. Ayo, got a everybody yaddy. Let me see. Hey, 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 Froggy, Yoggy, Yoggy, how you doing? Let me know if y'all can hear me okay in the comment section. Make sure when you come in, double tap that screen, or is it? I think you could double tap the screen, and don't be afraid to share. Sharing is Karen. Let me see if they uploaded. And they did, and they did, and they did. And they did. What's up, y'all? Loud and clear, awesome sauce. I'm happy to hear that. Sorry for my tardiness. Y'all know I got some things just never change, baby. I'm always tardy to the party. I'm supposed to be here, but I got caught up watching this movie on Tubi, and it was pissing me off. And I'm still not finished it, but I was like, let me go ahead and go live since I said I was gonna go live before I can't go live. Hey, Major, how you doing? I guess I should have made a better picture. Let me see if I could get a better picture. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, I could do. Okay, boom. That's better. That's better. That's better. Hope you and your family are doing what we are. Thank you so much. But now I can't see like. Okay, I like that much better. We are doing fine. How are you and your family doing? I hope everyone has been doing well. I was supposed to go live. I was gonna go live last night or whatever, but it's just I ain't done this thing in so long. It just be I don't know. But I was being nosy, and I've been wanting to talk about it because I found it kind of interesting. Although it's something that we have seen play out, multiple times. I found it very interesting, and I wanted to kind of go over the situation, kind of examine it from what I know. I don't know everything because I don't watch everybody. But I was inside Mackenzie's TikTok live the other night. I had popped in there, and to my surprise, Mackenzie cussed me square. When I say Mackenzie cussed me out, she called me all type of bees, baby. Mackenzie said, F you, girl. I ain't never like you anyway. I'm like, dang, so you just be faking phony. You just be pretending to like people, like, and then the moment something happens, like, your true colors come out. Like, so you just been just like a fraud this whole time? You just be frauding this. I mean, I don't care if the girl like me or don't like me. Like, it don't make me or break me. Like, I really don't care. But I'm like, damn, sis, like, it's like that. And I was trying to remember, like, what I said in May Live. That she said I said something to May Live. She seen me talking ish in May Live or whatever. And that's why she was decided to let me know she never liked me anyway. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I'm pretty sure whatever I said probably was honesty. And it was the truth. So I'm not really sure, but just because it's the truth about somebody doesn't mean they have to like it. And I get that. But she cussed me clear out. Now, for those who, because I see the numbers going up and going down, I have my live set to subscribers mode, okay? So if you are tuned in, I think after a few moments, the live might kick you out. So you have to subscribe to the channel if you would like to interact in the comments. Unsubscribe after the live is over. That's fine with me. It doesn't matter. Whatever's clever, whatever works. But I wanted to kind of play what happened for those who may have missed it and kind of lost about, what transpired. I wanted to play the clip where her and May were engaging on a live, and Mackenzie asked a question that led up to a certain dialogue that spiraled way out of control. And I wanted to kind of figure out like what went wrong. How did we get to where we are today? Because well, I know how we got to where we are today. McKenzie is who McKenzie is, you know. And while her feelings are justified, when I say McKenzie is who McKenzie is, like, you know, her train of thought, her level, I can't even say her age, because we've had grown women who have not claimed to have, you know, anything going on upstairs do the very same thing. So now I really don't know. Sometimes I just don't know. I be trying to make sense of it, but none of it actually, it's really not no rhythm or rhyme to any of this. Like, I really think that I'm starting to believe wholeheartedly, because sometimes I'm like, I don't know, like, are people really just that, like, are people just really that mean or like evil? Because May has said time and time again, people will befriend her, get close to her, just to end up like the whole time they was a foe. You know what I'm saying? And then end up doing exactly what many, many people have done time and time again. And this is not a stick up for May, because like I said previously, May has to be accountable for the things that she kind of put herself in. A lot of times she put herself in certain situations because of what she chooses to be loyal to. I'm not really surprised at her and McKenzie's falling out, because the way McKenzie would be on May's panel and some of the things she would say and do her trolling, like, she would do way too much. And I'm like, this only gonna go but so far. Eventually May gonna be like, all right now, little girl, enough is enough. And I guess the other day, enough was enough. The other day, enough was enough. So, in case you guys missed it, some of y'all might have already watched this 1,000 times over and over again. But I wanted to play the initial conversation that May and McKenzie had, and kind of like look at how it went, and kind of talk about the things to see if we could try to figure out how it went from two people who claim to be friends, a person who claimed to love another person and they would never do this and never do that, how the conversation went from the way that it went to how it started to where it ended up going. You understand what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and play this real quick. I think it's like 5 minutes or something like that. So bear with me. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
Right, sue for what? Like, you can't sue for nothing. Like, you running around here keeping people's name in your mouth.
How long we gonna run this storyline, McKenzie? How long we gonna keep going?
Can y'all hear?
Until you give me my apology. Apology for what?
Oh wait, this the wrong video. Sorry. That's the wrong video. That's the video where May apologizes to her. Hold on, let me see. Here we go. Here we go.
So official one.
Can y'all hear in the comment section?
Has there been any talk about that special trip?
I don't want to. Let me know if y'all can hear it. Once y'all tell me y'all can hear it, I'll continue the audio. This is no video, it's just audio. But I want to make sure y'all can hear it before I continue to play. I see some hearts going up. Okay, so y'all can hear it. Okay.
Yeah. I ain't gonna talk about it on here though. Yeah. Official one. So yeah. That's what she wants to do. So I was like, okay, cool. That's what she wanted to do. You know. She said she wanted to come every couple months. So I was like, all right. But you know, I'm gonna be going back and forth. You know, I'm going to Cali after here. So.
What are you doing in Cali?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Yeah. How do they not understand there's a block button? Easy. Don't step out of my lane and fuck with people for no reason. Like, people fuck with me and I respond and I'm the bad guy. You know, so I've gotten used to being the bad guy. It is what it is, but...
Okay, so May, you've been doing such...
Okay, before McKenzie asked the question that started all of this stuff. Now, I know, Reese, we're going to fast forward a little bit. I know May and them just was in Vegas, and during this live, I think May spoke about how... I don't know if it was this live. I think it was the live while she was in Vegas about it was Whitney's trip. Their anniversary was coming up, which I think is today, or is it tomorrow? I think their 2-year anniversary is today. I might, if I have the dates wrong, let me know, because I can't remember my own dates, but I think she said it was the 8th. And I know people make agreements, and we can't tell people how to feel and how to maneuver, like whatever works for them in a relationship. But just because it's publicized and for the sake of talking about it, I was like, dang, they just was in Vegas together. She left. I'm sure Whitney came home, probably had to go back to work or whatever. But I'm like, she with her new boo. Everybody know now that she is with Shay still, or back with Shay. I don't know if they ever broke up or whatever, because I didn't really follow that timeline really closely. But if today is their anniversary and she's in California with Shay, I was like, damn, on their anniversary? On their anniversary? I'm like, damn. I mean, they could not care. Whitney could absolutely not care. May and her could be absolutely fine with the fact of not spending their anniversary on, maybe it's not that important to them, whatever. But from the outside looking in, I couldn't help. I'm gonna be honest. I couldn't help to be like, damn, y'all 2-year anniversary is 2-year anniversary. I can't talk. And especially with some of the things that we watch play out on social media, with them going back and forth with staying together, them talking about getting a divorce, and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, dang, y'all ain't even together on your anniversary? That's kind of, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What y'all think about that? Not that art, it matters, because like I said, just for the sake of talking about it, her and Whitney could have talked about it, and it was what it was, and Whitney could be okay with it. But just for the sake of talking about it, I wouldn't be okay with that ish. I wouldn't be okay with not spending my anniversary with my wife, but she's with her girlfriend in California. I would be pissed about that. Like, I really would be pissed about that. Like, I truly would. But, whatever's clever. Let's continue.
Me there for 10 years now, right? Has anybody within these 10 years, and this is a pretty deep question, has anybody ever tried to take your life?
McKenzie, why would you say something like that?
As soon as I heard McKenzie ask the question, I was like, what? And based on the conversation they was having prior to this, I'm so confused on what made McKenzie ask that question. It was so odd. I mean, a lot of things that McKenzie asked be odd. It be having nothing to do with the actual conversation or what's going on. They could be talking about the sky is purple, and McKenzie will come in here talking about, oh, I had some bubblicious today. Like, what, girl? That is not what we talking about. So when I went back to go listen, I'm like, what? And May, when she asked the question, May eyes was like, what the, like, what? What, girl? What?
It's just a question. Is that a weird question? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Has anybody threatened to? Yes, lots of people have threatened to. Has anybody actually, like, I pray to God they never try to take my life.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, that's not something that you want to put in the atmosphere at all.
Yeah, let me sit up. I'm so sorry.
It's crazy work. That's why I be tripping off and not letting you come up here, girl, because you say some of the damnedest fucking shit.
Girl.
Now, y'all make note of this, of May saying this. She said, this is why I be... Clearly, they've had conversations where May has had a conversation with her about the things that she said not being okay, and whether she's going to let her be on the panel back and forth. Make note of that, okay?
I know.
Yeah, like you got Tourette's or some shit.
I was telling my mom today that I think I'm a...
You gotta be careful what you put in the atmosphere, for real.
I know, I need to...
She said, like, you got Tourette's or some ish, right? She didn't say she did. She was saying, like, the way you be acting up here, just blurting stuff out of your mouth is crazy, because that's what people with Tourette's, they, like, just blurt things out uncontrollably. It's something, just be out of nowhere. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? So she wasn't saying she had it. She was like, that's how you're acting.
I'm down.
I think speak. Just think before you speak. Because,
I'm just dumb, that's all.
No, it ain't you, that you're dumb at all. You just say shit that just ain't cool sometimes.
And even in this instance, when McKenzie down talks herself and calls herself dumb, she said, nah, it's not that you dumb. It's just that sometimes you say some stuff pretty much like you just do too much and you need to think before you speak. Even in this instance, she's like, no, don't call yourself dumb. You're not dumb. You're not stupid. Like, you just have to be mindful of the things you say. Right? Okay. Let me see. To me, that's weird. It doesn't seem like Whitney's a priority anymore. From the outside looking in, I could see how people could assume that. But that's why I said, like, we don't know what their agreement was or, you know, how they feel about it. It could be Whitney, like, I have to work on our anniversary anyway, and she's not willing to take off. Because it doesn't sound like Whitney is the type to take off from work regardless of what it is. If you listen to what May said, I'm reading this comment. She said in the years that she's been in Texas, Whitney has only taken off. I think she said she's only missed 1 day of work in her attendance, like she's only taken off 1 day. So maybe the few days before their anniversary was their time to celebrate and be together. And so that was that. And Whitney has to go to work anyway. So I guess maybe it didn't matter to them. It would matter to me, bitch. I don't care if I'm going to work or not, okay? Be home when I get home. Be home when I get home for our anniversary or whatever. However, like I said, it may not have mattered to Whitney. I don't know. Let's continue. Hey, dramas and doobies.
Yeah.
Just think before you say things. And if you think it's something that shouldn't be said, then chances are don't fucking say it. Like, come on out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something that nobody ever wants to. But you know, I stay protected at all times. I do. You know, so I mean, it is what it is. I mean, nobody's untouchable, and I'm not untouchable either. I know this, but I pray that, you know, God got my back, and maybe I got a couple guardian angels, you know, to defend me from these Maybae slayers. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I ain't did shit really to nobody but mind my motherfucking business and become a social media content creator, and now I'm hated for no reason. I don't get it. That is what it is. Oh, it's because you did this or that. I didn't do shit, but whatever.
Dude, I'm so dumb. Why would I even ask that? Like,
it's not about being dumb. Just think before you speak. Or just text it, because Jesus Christ. This is why people be thinking you're trolling.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm literally crying right now.
I hope you ain't nothing to cry about. The power's in the tongue. You know, you gotta be careful what you speak into existence.
Yeah.
So, you know, I speak nothing but peace, love, and, you know, protection over me and my family. No negative bullshit.
So
Be vulnerable. Let down your guard a little. Let them take the villain role, and people will fall off a little. I done got in this motherfucker when I was down and out.
So that's pretty much the dialogue between her and May after McKenzie said what she said in her response. May was clearly offended and confused about why she asked what she asked. And even with her being offended and confused, she don't drag her or anything like that. She explains to her, like, think before you speak. And if you're not sure about something that you want to ask or talk about, whether it would be too much, send me a text and let me know. Or if you have to second guess it, then it probably is too much. So don't say it. The dialogue between them when this happened was cool, kosher, between people who seemed like two friends. Even in this instance, McKenzie started crying, you know, feeling bad for what she said, realizing what she said was wrong, right? So after I listened to this live a couple of times, I'm like, how did we go from you being a person that was offensive to you flipping it and making it about how you felt because of something you caused? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you flip it back on May after you realize, dang, I shouldn't have asked that. You clearly see it bothered May, but somehow you flip the situation back to be about, oh, you hurt my feelings. Well, your feelings never would have got hurt if you would have never said what you said. Now, this is not like a tit for tat, a petty, but this is just being grown. This is just being grown, like acknowledging how things occur. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, nobody can tell Mackenzie how to feel. If it hurt her feelings, it hurt her feelings. She is entitled to her feelings. Everyone is entitled to feel how they feel, right? But in my personal opinion, what May said was nothing for her to be offended. She didn't talk about her disability. She didn't try to put another disability on her. It was a comparison about her actions and what occurs during another situation. Like, you know, that's how you were acting. Not saying you actually have it, like a figure of speech. And I don't know if Mackenzie was talking to someone after the live, because I'm really confused how they went from this type of conversation to Mackenzie now. Let's listen to this. I don't know if you guys heard this clip, but now Mackenzie, after this, Mackenzie sent text messages or screenshots to Connie. I don't know what the screenshots were in reference to. I don't know. Whatever screenshots it was, I can't remember. Because I didn't actually watch Connie's live. But I know it was something about she sent messages to Connie because May wouldn't apologize to her. She felt like May owed her an apology because she hurt her feelings, right? And I'm just like, if you consider yourself a friend, you loved her, even if May hurt your feelings in that instance, why would your response be to go to Connie? And I'm only asking that to ask because that's like a question you typically ask. But Mackenzie is a kid, so her doing what she did is like, I could see her doing something like that. It's Mackenzie, like she childish, you know what I'm saying? Although she's a grown woman by age, you know, legally, her mental capacity is that of a kid. And if grown women who have not been labeled to have any type of, you know, issues going on with their development could do the very same thing, why not Mackenzie? You know what I'm saying? Going to the very person who, you know, May goes back and forth with about her feeling harassed by and bothered by and wanting to be left alone. You on the panel with May, rallying behind May, cheering May on, you know, hating Connie just as much as May hate Connie. You know, if I don't even know if May hates Connie, but, you know, showing your disdain for Connie just as much as May does. And then turning right into, leaning into that very person, leaning into the very people who, not saying Connie, because I don't know what Connie has said about Mackenzie specifically. I do know, and I definitely feel like Connie tried to make light of or make an excuse of or give somebody an out of when they use something that can be looked at as a racial slur regarding Mackenzie recently when they call her the niggly term, and Connie said, oh, they didn't mean that was a typo. You know damn well that wasn't no damn typo. They meant exactly what they wrote. So outside of that, I don't know. I don't watch Connie's lives like enough to know what, you know, she really says about people, you know, to be like, no, she has bashed or she has dragged. I know that there has been times when I've heard things that I feel like concerning May, she spun a narrative because it was her personal opinion of how she viewed or how she saw it. And she, you know, I have heard that. But as far as bashing or dragging, I can't say because I don't watch her enough. I've seen like little bits and pieces of her stuff, but nothing enough to say she has dragged or bashed, you know, anyone directly per se. Yeah, that definitely wasn't no typo. So, but outside of that, I really don't know. So I found it odd. Not, like I said, I expect that out of Mackenzie, but at the same time, like just for who I am in my what's the word I'm looking for? How I operate as an individual and what I find okay and not okay. Like Mackenzie's behavior was weird, but Mackenzie being who she is, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked by her doing what she did. You know what I'm saying? And it wouldn't be the first time that she's done something that would be considered like odd behavior. But this is also where May has to be held accountable because she's done something in the past that was weird. You let her back into your personal space. And I'm happy that she didn't let her back into a space or a capacity where she could say anything private, maybe that she didn't want out. But nonetheless, you let this person back into your space. And with Mackenzie's behavior and knowing Mackenzie's behavior, and it's clear that y'all have had conversation about the things that she said on the panel and some of the things she's done, and to repeatedly allow her back on the panel, like you have to be accountable for allowing it because you gave her the space to do it. You understand what I'm saying? So, but now Mackenzie is questioning everything about May. She said something on her live and I was laughing because I guess she felt like she ate and I didn't even know what the hell she was talking about. And I guess Blicky and Purple did a live and I guess I was a part of their live for whatever reason. And I guess they said some things. They ate me up in that live. I don't even have a clue about what McKenzie was talking about. I'm happy that they had a good live, and that it made a lot of sense and they laid it out perfect. Kudos to y'all. But I haven't a clue about what she was talking about. But I'm happy that they enjoyed it, and she lined it right up. Hey cousin, but I don't watch them, so I don't know. But she is questioning whether May is innocent as far as the accusations that have been brought before her the last, since forever about whether she is the P word. Now she's questioning when she battled hard. Even was mad at Niecy because of the things Niecy would say back and forth about May in between their relationships. Now you being that very same person. Weird behavior to me. Now she don't care about anybody when you just used to be sitting on a panel about how she ride for her friends and how she's always there for you and she answered calls. You even said on the live, like, she answered a phone call for me at 2 a.m. She ain't never did nothing for me but help me grow my pages. Like, how do you say she's never done nothing for you but in the same breath then say help you grow your pages? Huh? Mamas, you're not making no sense right now. You're not making no sense. It just ain't making no sense. And now you I don't know, you admitting that you hated or disliked people simply because why are you just hating people? I mean, but that's her personality. Based on what she talked about her disability was when she explained it when she first came onto the internet scene, it would make sense that she would kind of do what she needed to do to kind of do what she thought she needed to do to make May, like her and to be close to her, because that's a part of how she explained her brain development, why she would do those types of things. But that's why you don't, because when you get into situations where a friendship doesn't work out and you never really hated certain people, now you're looking like a fool because you was out here playing games. You was out here playing games for the sake of who you was friends with. If I don't like somebody, it's because, and I don't fool with somebody, or I'm went at somebody, it's because they done something to me. It's because they said something to me. Don't take on other people enemies simply to take on other people enemies. You can even express how you dislike behaviors or the way people do things without taking on another person's enemy. You know what I mean? So, yeah, McKenzie. But again, this is all in line with her development, of her brain. She acts like a petty, teenager, and it's in line with, her disability or whatever. Now, let's listen to one more thing. May end up calling McKenzie the other day while they was on live, while McKenzie was on her TikTok live. I put a clip up of McKenzie's TikTok live if y'all want to go check that out. May end up calling her to see how they could squash the beef. Let's listen to this apology. Is this it? I think so.
Well, that's crazy.
Keep the people's name in your mouth. Right, sue for what? You can't sue for nothing. You running around here, keep the people's name in your mouth.
I think McKenzie has been playing in May's face all along, talking to others and always looking for drama. I wouldn't be surprised. I was trying to figure out who the girl Letitia was. I was really confused. I don't know if that's a enemy for May or a supporter of May. I was really confused. I'm not really sure where May is at with this person whose name is Letitia, because I know that name came up quite a few times. May said something about she not caring if she talked to Letitia and something about... So I was a little bit confused. I don't know if she is a op or a supporter. Does anybody know who Letitia is? Is she a supporter or a op? I don't know of May. But I wouldn't put it past nobody. If she mentioned she was chit-chatting with somebody, and they was... I don't know. But Kenzie definitely used to be on that panel saying some outlandish stuff, though.
Storyline, McKenzie. How long we gonna keep going?
Until you give me my apology.
Apology for what?
For hurting my feelings. That's what this whole thing is for.
Okay, so you want me to apologize for hurting your feelings for saying you sound like you got Tourette's?
I was here to apologize because I told you I hurt my feelings. And I needed an apology for that. And then I'll stop this whole thing. I promise.
Huh. you ever think that the things that you say don't bother me at all? That they just be all right? When I constantly told you, when I've told you that the girl, that the things that you say are absurd, bro. I shouldn't have to tell you, like, damn, that hurts my feelings. Like, no. So then I was just trolling, right?
So in this instance, if y'all remember, I told y'all to remember what May said on that live before everything before HE double hockey sticks broke loose. When McKenzie first said what she asked the question, and May said to her, "This is why, pretty much in a nutshell, she said we've had a conversation where I wasn't going to let you back up on the panel, pretty much because you just be saying anything like." Meaning she's expressed to her, the stuff you say is too much. I don't like it. Like, I'm about to not let you back on the panel. McKenzie in this clip is acting oblivious to these conversations that they had. Now, in the first clip, she said, I know. So you are aware that the things that you say, May doesn't like. That some of the things, if not all of the things that you say, May does not like. To the point where y'all have had conversations on more than one occasion about her not allowing you up on the panel anymore. And now that something has occurred that you caused on the panel and you acknowledge you should have never asked, now you are a victim in a scenario that you caused, and now you are oblivious to the dialogues that you and May or whoever have had about the things you say on the panel. I mean, I even have been in May's comments a time or two, like, McKenzie, you just say anything, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why would you say that? Like, I've said that in May's live recently. Like, what? You just be doing too much. And she has made it aware that she knows. She said, I just be trolling. I be knowing. It's just a kiki, But apparently all your kikis is not okay with Maybae, because she has expressed to you that, listen, you doing too much. I'm about to finna not let you up here. And I do recall it was a time or two when May had said, like, I'm not going to let her back up here, but then she'd end up back up there, or whatever. So it's like picking it apart. I'm like, in this instance, how May used to be like, oh, she got a disability, like, whatever. In this instance, this is where you would apply, but her disability is not an excuse, because while she has, her brain development is not on task, like with her age, she has enough know-how to know right from wrong, like whether that's okay or whether that is okay. And she just likes to be messy. She likes to be messy. She likes the attention. I think she enjoys the attention. I do agree with that, whether it's good or bad. The thing that y'all not see is that Nugget did say sorry to her for saying it, and she also let her know how she felt before she came to the internet. Okay, what you saying that to say what, Diamond? What do you mean? We seen her say on a live that it was dumb. She should have never said that. We heard that in the clip. What do you mean? And we also know that they had text messages back and forth, because we know that the reason why Connie ended up with the text messages, per Mackenzie's excuse, is since May didn't apologize to her in private, she was going to expose her in public. So what is it that you want us to understand from that? It should have never came to the internet. So what is it from that you want us to understand from that? That with understanding that, we're supposed to get why she felt like she deserved an apology? Because in this instance, what you're saying is that Mackenzie acknowledges that the issues resulted from her actions. So why would it be? I'm confused. Because I see everything you said in that message. I saw. That's the timeline. She even started crying on a live. I'm going to listen while I wait for her response.
Okay, so, but you bringing up some shit about if somebody tried to kill me, girl, that is crazy. That's offensive. I think it's crazy. Well, a lot of people don't think it's crazy. And those same people are probably the same people that are trying to get unalive me. Okay. Well, like I said, you give me what I want and I'll drop this whole thing.
You give me what I want.
You know what, Mackenzie? I'm gonna be a I'm gonna ask a 4-year-old, and I'm still not gonna fuck with you at the end of this. And I'm gonna tell you this. Listen, no, wait, let me finish. Okay. I am sorry that you got offended for me saying you sounded like you had Tourette's. Okay. I think that you took it the wrong way. What I was referring to is people that have Tourette's, they blurt stuff out. That's what I was saying. I wasn't saying that you literally, like, I think you have Tourette's. That's not what I was saying. But I apologize for hurting your feelings. Now, the only reason why I want to end this is because I don't want to do or say something to you, Mackenzie, that could cause you to do something to you. Okay? I can see the screenshot. Yes. So, listen to me when I'm telling you something. It would bother me if you did something to yourself. Okay? Because I actually gave a fuck about you. Understand that, okay? I need you to really hear me clearly when I say this. I'm not into bullying people, for real. I come for motherfuckers that come for me, and you know that. I don't care what you believe. I don't give a fuck what you heard. I don't care, okay? I'm telling you myself, okay? Never, ever, ever did anything I say should have made you go and do what you did, period. You should have said, hey, May, blah, blah, blah. Even if we wasn't seeing eye to eye, I thought we was friends. But
right. Even if they wasn't seeing eye to eye. In that instance, when Mackenzie didn't get what she felt she deserved, y'all were friends. You saying you love this girl. Like, you riding hard for her. And the moment that you didn't get what you wanted, if you were her friend, actually her friend, and cared about her, you would have just walked away and left it alone. You would not have ran to her the first opportunity that you received to be messy. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have done it.
Exactly what any of these other ops do, and ran straight to the motherfucker who you say you can't stand. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it wasn't a problem. The problem was that you weren't seeing what I was saying. That was the problem.
What'd she say?
Who you say you can't stand. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it wasn't a problem. The problem was that you weren't seeing what I was saying. That was the problem. Me giving an apology, Mackenzie, me giving you an apology is nothing to me. That's light work. You understand me? I'm a grown-ass woman. If I feel like I'm wrong, I can apologize. I don't feel like I was wrong for saying that you sound like you have Tourette's. What I feel like I'm wrong for is saying it and you not comprehending what I meant by it. So since it hurt your feelings and I didn't mean it that way, I will apologize because I'm a grown-ass woman and I can do that. You feel me? Now, whether or not you understand that or not, that's up to you. But at the end of the day, I don't care what you said. I don't care what you've done. We can never be cool again. Understand that. Okay, we're done. That's it for life. But you got your apology. Now, I'm going to ask you nicely to leave me, my family, and everybody I know name out your mouth. I'm not worried about you dropping no bombs. You don't pump no fear in my heart whatsoever. Okay? I don't want to go on here and tell the shit I know about you because it's not worth it to me. I don't want to bully you, bro. No, I don't want to. I'm not going to. Do you not understand?
She said do it.
And I'm telling you, I'm not going to. I have nothing. I don't care. That's the whole point that you're not getting. I don't give a damn what I know. I don't give a damn. I'm not going to go on here and tell it. Period. I could have went and linked it to a blogger or could went and did whatever. I don't care about no bomb you think you got. Let that bitch explode. Okay? I'm telling you now, you got your apology. I'm asking you nicely to leave my family's name out of your mouth. And leave my name out your mouth and let it go. You said you would if you got an apology. You got it? Yeah, I got my apology, so I'm done. So that's it, that's all. And we're done. We got nothing else to talk about. Period. Okay. And I'm not going to speak on you either on my live. Because it's simply not worth it. I get nothing from talking about you. Nothing. All right. Have a good night. Yeah, you too.
Now, I was listening to May apology. And at first when I listened to it, I was like, May, what the hell? What? Girl. And then when she said the ending, like, listen, I want you to understand, like, she's not sorry for what she said, but she's sorry for how she she's sorry for how she took it. She misinterpreted what she said, and that since it hurt her feelings, she apologizes for that. Hey, Kathy, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. So I'm like, it sounds like May wanted it to be clear. I don't apologize for what I said, but I'm apologizing since it hurt your feelings. I apologize that you misunderstood what I said. So, I'm sorry for that. Pretty much, is what she said. And McKenzie has said, okay, she got her apology. She accepted it. It sounded like she was accepting of the apology. And so now I'm wondering, will they move forward? Now, I didn't watch the rest of May live. I know in this same live, May ends up revealing that her and Shay are back together or still together. I don't know if they split up, broke up. I don't know but they're together. Or whatever. So, she apologized for it hurting her feelings, but not for what she said, which I think that is a thing. Could she have left that part out? Absolutely. Most people would prefer that you leave that part out of an apology about you not apologizing for what you actually said. Just, hey, it hurt your feelings. My bad. I apologize. That was not my intent, and going from there. Boom, bam, bam. McKenzie knows what the F she's doing. Sorry, laugh out loud. She jumped ship too quick. No, yeah, she did. The very next day, from my understanding. I know May had some confusion. She thought it was that same night, but apparently it was the next morning. So you had time to sit on your thoughts and your decisions before you decided to hit. So you didn't even act on impulse. You can't even be like, oh, I was being impulsive. I was just in my feelings and boom. No, you had slept on it before you sent the messages. You slept on it. And I'm wondering if anybody listened to May's apology and then did McKenzie get on anybody else's panel, or in her inbox or on her phone and tell her that was a BS apology, don't accept it. I'm wondering if McKenzie will come back and say, no, I don't accept May's apology now. I don't think that was a real apology. That wasn't good enough, and the saga will continue. Even when McKenzie went on Connie's panel, from the parts that I heard, I'm like, girl, these people ain't your friends. They is not your friends. Connie doing what Connie do, trying to get the tea as she should. She a blogger trying to get the tea as she should. But I'm like, those questions wasn't really about you. It was about trying to expose May, trying to find some more things on May that they feel is good enough to continue to drag her, to continue to make her look like a bad person, to continue to make her look like this just ain't-ish person. Just like I heard a clip last night, and they was trying to paint, even though what they said could be true. Connie and them were talking about how May was talking about how Baby P loves her, and pretty much this, that, and the third, and this is blah blah blah. And Connie was like, she's too young to know what, pretty much like, if you're a good person or not. She's too young to know. I know children who were abused and taken away, and they still want to be with their mother. That's very true. That can absolutely be true. But you also have children that know a good person from a bad person, or will not want to be around that person, even at Baby P's age. And we have not seen anything on this here internet outside of her personal life choices, which is hers to make, that anybody should be saying, to, in my personal opinion, that May is a bad grandmom. I see her love on her grandkids. I see her do Baby P's hair. I see her make sure she secures the things that she needs, supply a roof over their heads. I'm like, watch them so the parents could work. Bad grandma where? Why are we trying to paint this picture that she's a bad grandma? I don't get that. I don't understand that part. And this is why I'm like, when May say like Connie paint narratives, like this is what she's talking about. To me, that was like, even though she didn't directly say it, at least for while I was there, what she was painting to me would have been like, but why is that the narrative we got to put out there? Why is that the side we want to put out there, when, like, what are we comparing that? I know Connie has her opinion of what she considers abuse, and things like that. Everybody has a different way of raising their children and how they operate and stuff like that. But I don't know. From where I sit, regardless of May's lifestyle and what she got going on, she seems like a loving grandma. She seems like a grandma that's going to ride for her babies, that's going to make sure they get what they need, that's going to protect them, that's going to shelter them, that's going to feed them, that's going to clothe them. I don't know. But anyway, let me get off May's ass, because I'm saying Summer's always up May's ass. But that's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I think that, girl, you know what I meant. Panel, not panel, interview, non-interview, dialogue, whatever way you want to shape it, okay? Panel is just a term that we use comfortably, okay? I know Connie doesn't have a panel. I'm gonna let you use your nuggets. Use your noodle, mamas. Use your noodle, Sherry. Use your noodle. Don't take everything so literal. All right, Sherry? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, yeah. Do y'all think it's over? Oh, my bad, Sherry. Do y'all think that my apologies, Sherry. I was reading comments. I was minding y'all business. I should have been minding mine. So my bad. My apologies, Sherry. Sorry. um so do y'all think that this drama is over as far as with May and McKenzie directly? Now, we know we can't help people like me or Connie or Blicky or anyone else having a conversation about it because it was put out here publicly, right? But do you think between McKenzie and May is done? If you think is the drama between those two directly is done, put a black heart. If you think that is going to continue, put a yellow heart. If you think it's over, black heart. If you think it's going to continue, yellow heart. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all think... I kind of feel like... I hope it's over, but Nugget's going to keep it going. That's the best you got, Sherry. Still haven't said how would you have handled this. Are y'all talking about the apology, Nancy? We all have it. If y'all talking about the apology... I think sometimes we have a tendency of wanting people to do things the way that we would do it, how we would operate, and that's just not real life. We all have a different life experience. We all have a different view of what an apology looks like or an action looks like. And as long as it was accepted from the other person and they understood it, that's all that matters at the end of the day. We don't all operate the same. It's clear that May operates differently. It's clear that how she approached things, how she viewed things, how she do things is usually very much different from majority of us across the board. So to expect her to operate in a capacity that we or you see it at this point in life would just be insanity. It would just be insanity at this point for people to continuously believe she should move a certain way because it's how we would or how you would, knowing that that is not how she operates. It's not how she has saw things through the lens of her life, her experiences, and what she's accustomed to. And people do things according to what they are accustomed to. Now, you can take the time to try to teach somebody how you want to be treated, but this is not a situation where it was no lesson being learned. It was just her offering an apology and McKenzie accepting said apology. You know what I'm saying? If that's what y'all were talking about. If that's not what y'all were talking about, disregard my statement because it was neither here nor there. Okay, because I was minding y'all business and that wasn't what y'all was talking about. Nugget has nothing else to talk about on here, so she keep it going. Get Connie Peeps to watch. Oh, when she said on that live, if you a May supporter, I want you out of here. I only want Connie. I think she said Outlaws or Connie. She only want Connie supporters. Baby, they're not finna be there long. They're there for a short time, not a long time. They there to see if some tea won't get dropped. And then it's going to be going. Them numbers, that was the most people I've seen inside McKenzie's TikTok since I've been watching her. Because if I see her live, I don't be on TikTok that often. But if I see her live, I will go over there, tap her, might send her a gift or something. Even for somebody who I don't bang with. If I see you up there, because I ain't no hater, you know what I'm saying? It ain't never really that deep. Now, with some people, I ain't gonna never F with on that level. You ain't never gonna get a gift, a tap, or nothing out of me. You know what I'm saying? And that's very far and few. Very far few in between. Now, something I will give McKenzie some props for, is she did not switch up when it came to that one lady in regards to her. Not that I want to talk about it, because Lord have mercy, I know she would go 40 days and 40 nights, baby, when somebody bring her up and she don't like it. But for people to still be in the comment section trying to say that the threatening of Baby P's life never occurred is absolutely insane to me. For people to still be saying She never threatened these kids' lives, that she didn't say she was going to harm them, that she would harm them, is insane when you can hear it. You can listen to it for yourself, that she actually threatened to harm the kids if something happened to her license. And that fact that people are still saying it didn't happen is is insane. Something is wrong with folks. Something is wrong with folks. So y'all think she gonna keep it going? I don't know. I hope not. I hope that she can move forward and keep it pushing. Me too. I haven't been really. I've been tuned in with this McKenzie stuff a little bit, not a lot of it, a little bit. I caught a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But I've been doing that crime stuff too, and it be pissing me off. The crime stuff be pissing me off. When I say pissing me off, and I don't know why I continue to watch it. What does that have to do with threatening? What? So are you justifying Soaring? Are you justifying her threatening to harm the kids? I'm confused. And what would that have to do with her grandbabies? What would what another grown woman said have to do with May's grandbabies? Nobody should be talking about dead mamas. Nobody should be talking about babies. None of it is right. Why are we trying to justify? This is not something to justify. It was sad, it was wrong. Okay, well, okay. We two different people then, Soren. You see what I'm saying? You're going to justify it? Awesome sauce. I can't get with that. I'm not finna justify none of that. I'm not finna justify talking about nobody's deceased mama. Oh, no one should say it. Okay. Oh, all right. She said it was a typo. This ain't no justification. But denying that it happened is crazy. It happened. It ain't no, she didn't. Yes, she did. It happened. Now, I still have not seen the clip of Kat. I still haven't seen that clip. I still haven't seen a clip of Kat, I don't think. But I do know the timeline was completely different from what they were trying to paint, because I remember I covered it. And it was I remember it's a live up. But we're not finna get into all that, because people going to see it how they want to see it. But I do know the image that they were trying to paint of Kat with what she said about that lady's mama was not what happened. It was an example being used. And people took that and ran with it, because that person was already talking trash about said children when the person said something about the mama, actually. It wasn't. Kat did a live in response to her talking about her children. And when a lady came into the comments, May used her mama as an example. I got that. It's a video up somewhere when I lined up the timeline to prove that wasn't even true. To prove that what you just said, Soaring Energy, was not true. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. I got a timeline up. I got the timestamps up of actually what happened. Kat was doing a live in response to something. The girl came into the comments and said something, and then Kat used it as an example is what happened. That's exactly what happened. But anyway, people going to see how they want to see it. They're going to see what they want to see. They're going to feel how they want to feel. And I don't care for Kat one way or another. Like, she don't like me. I wouldn't say that I don't like her. I don't care for her one way or another. Whether she like me, she don't like me, it don't matter. But the facts are the facts. The timeline was the timeline. You know what I'm saying? And if people want to be honest about the timeline, it's easy to see. I even lined it up perfectly for y'all, because it didn't happen the way that people tried to portray it, like she just came out here talking about that lady mama. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. That lady said something first about her children, from my understanding, and then Kat said use an example or something like that. It was something like that, but it didn't happen in the timeline that y'all trying to in the timeline that y'all trying to say it happened. And it didn't happen that way. It was something happened. Kat was doing a live, and then the lady came into the live and said something, and then Kat used it as an example. If somebody says something or whatever, like, are y'all going to believe it because it was said? If I say this, people going to believe it simply because it was said. It was an example. It wasn't her actually attacking her mom. That's a fact. That's a fact. And if I could go find the clip that I put up about it, I'll share it. I'll share it for y'all. It don't matter though. It don't matter though. But that was just, you know, my 2 cents on the situation with McKenzie and May. And yeah. I don't know if it was on my Summers Room Facebook page. Y'all know I don't got that page no more. But that's a fact. That is a fact. That's a fact, mamas. It's a fact. Because I remember I went to cover it because Connie covered it to show the clip. And I was like, but that's not the timeline. So I went back and actually lined everything up. I went back and actually lined everything up for actually how it happened. They did a live. And they were talking about I think what was said. Something happened, and then the lady came into the live, and Kat used an example of somebody making up something. If somebody made something up, people are going to believe it even if it's not true because it's the internet. It was an example. I don't know what y'all talking about in the comments. Who y'all talking about? Who y'all praying for that y'all get eyes to see? Who need eyes to see what happened? I'm gonna try to find the live for y'all since it came up in this, and I'll bump it. I'll share it on my timeline on YouTube, like as a post, so you can click into the link and watch the actual video. So it won't be me talking. You'll actually be able to see the events play out. Hey, Lamb Chop, but what I'm telling you is actually true. I can't remember because my memory is horrible. But what I do remember is Kat went live. May was up there. They were discussing something that happened, something that happened. And then something happened. Something was said. And then Kat used an example of her saying anything. Like if I came out here and said your mom something, 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 people are going to believe it because it's the internet, even though it's not true. It was an example. And then that person took that and ran with it. But that person had already said something that caused them to do the live. Hey, Celine. Are parents off limits? I think that people should keep their fights with them. If I'm beefing with you, Sherry, me and you could beef all day. I think that I mean it's no rules in war. Let me say this. It's no rules in a fight. People gonna do what they want to do. People gonna do what they want to do, and it's no rules in a fight. However, me personally, I feel like if I'm beefing with you, Sherry, I'm gonna keep my beef with you. I don't feel like we should be bringing in family members, whether it is adults, children, co-workers, friends, jobs, licenses, none of that. I think that it should stay between the two people who have an issue. But it's no rules in a fight. So when you choose to get out here in these streets and fight, you have to look at your surroundings, meaning who am I about to fight with? Look at their history and how they fight and the things that they do and make that conscious decision. Like if I want to step into the ring, like I may decide not to go back and forth with an individual who I know play games with a job or who I know is okay with doxing you, like because I know they are willing to go that far. But it's no rules. And it's no rules in war. People gonna do what they want to do. But I personally think, like, if I'm beefing with you, like me and Dramas and Doobies is beefing, I'm not gonna go drag her grandma. I'm not gonna go drag her mom. I'm not gonna go drag her husband. I'm not gonna go drag her kids. I'm gonna keep the beef with me and her. But some people feel like if you talk about me, I'm gonna take it to hell. You know what I'm saying? Some people feel like if you go there with me, I'm gonna take it to hell. And I know Kat is one of those people because she said that's just who she is. You know what I'm saying? And apparently that's who that lady is that be on that panel, you know, with the mask, the screen mask. You know what I'm saying? No. You know, everyone has their limits, but our karma is our own. So I chose peace because I like the clean slate in this world. Right, Kathy? Like, you got to choose. You can only walk a path for you. You can only choose. Like, you can't let somebody else's actions interpret your actions. That's how we get in trouble. I tell my daughter all the time, my children, period, across the board. I always told them as kids, people never see who threw the first stone. They always see who threw the stone back. They never see who threw the initial stone. And this is a clear example. They never see who threw the initial stone. They only see who threw the stone back. That's all they ever see. It's very seldom that they see the person who actually caused the problem. They never see the first domino that fell. But they see that last one. They see it. They see it. They see it. See, it's not even a point, like, I not hate, because in these conversations, I get pulled back in, right? I get pulled back in because we talking about, and this is the thing. But when we say stuff like, and that's how she felt, and I'm assuming you talking about that's how, what you call them, felt when her mama allegedly got brought back up. If we're going to say that's how she felt, then what about how all the other people felt that that person had already been dragging? That person had already said despicable things too. That person had already done despicable things, have said despicable things too. It started with them. None of this would be. She wouldn't even be a topic if some of the things that was said wasn't said. Like, so I'm confused when y'all say that's how she felt. She got in this ring. She chose to get in the ring and start the fights. Nobody but her. She chose that. She chose to get in the ring. She chose to get in the ring. But in this situation, the person did not come for their mama. It was an example. It was like me saying, Sherry, if I came on the internet and said, Sherry dog got smell like poop, be dragging poop all through the house, people may believe that. This is an example only, because this is an example of how the internet works. People like me, they believe the things that I say, and because I said it, they're going to take it as facts. But it's not. It's just the internet. That's not me talking about you. It was just me using an example of something that I could say in reference to you, and the people that like me or believe me will follow it and run with it simply because I said it. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't me talking about you. That was me giving an example of how I could make something up, and then tomorrow it will be spread like wildfire if I had a group of people that believed me and just took what I said for face value. Right. But people will be like, yeah, you ain't hear about Sherry dog dragging poop all through her house, and then it'll be, and she don't clean it up. Her house smell like oh my God. And not one person knows Sherry. Don't know where Sherry from. Don't know if that's Sherry real name. Having a clue in the area Sherry live in. Sherry might not even have a damn dog. But because I said it, and I have a group of people that believe what I say, it's going to spread like wildfire. It's going to spread like wildfire. You know what I'm saying? Okay, side note, what you think about what Brandy got? I have not seen what Brandy. I seen Brandy was on live crying, and because she was on there crying, it was too much for me, so I couldn't watch. I know something about she got put out, or something with a girlfriend, or something with Polly. I don't know. I didn't watch it, so I don't know. I don't know. Just like we all thought that, just like a lot of people thought that, should I say it? Just like a lot of people thought that lady had money, thought she had munions. They thought she had munions. People could be what they want to be on the internet. They could say what the people could say what they want to say on the internet, be who they want to be on the internet. And a lot of people will never know until it hit the fan. We all thought, a lot of people thought that girl had money. Whole time she was out here scheming and scamming behind the scenes, broker than a smoker. You know what I mean? You can say and do what you want on the internet. You can say and do what you want on the internet, baby. Well, my baby almost home, so I'm going to go ahead and hop up off this live before she get here. I enjoyed y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed me. I don't know. Maybe I'll be back. Maybe I'll start vlogging. I got some time. I got a little bit of time on my hands. I ain't got no orders right now. So maybe I'll do a little blogging. Because not only do May got stuff going on, hopefully that's died down. I don't know if y'all know about this. Is from the cooking world. We got Cooking with Aisha, who allegedly claimed her husband beat her, but the video show otherwise, and is given she's a liar, a drunk, and a deceiver. And y'all might not know who that is. So, but he end up getting locked up, end up getting out, and is a whole thing. Darius is in it now because he riding for the guy, and people telling the guy to stay away from him. So I seen a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of that action. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. On the west side, child, I ain't been on no side. I just peeked in today and peeked in it. I be peeking here and there, once in the blue, but it don't be enough. Like, I feel like I watched enough of this to kind of have an input on it, but I haven't really watched enough of anything to like really talk about it. Like, I seen it was something going on with Brianna and something about herpes, but I don't know what's going on. I know I seen something with the boy Shamar supposed to be evicted, but I don't know enough. Something about Alvo in jail, but I don't know enough. Like, I just be seeing, like, I might see a post from Blasted and read the thumbnail, or see a caption by Let's Talk and read a thumbnail, but I'm not like indulging in the actual lives or videos to actually like know for real was T. I heard TEC is back on the scene. Somebody mentioned their name. I said, who? I said, Yaya Mac. I said, I haven't seen her name or heard nobody talk about her in a long time. They was like, yeah, she back on the scene. I was like, okay, pop your ish. Do your thing, sis. But, ooh, what's her name? McKenzie don't like you, Lamb Chop. Happy birthday, Lamb Chop. Yeah. I said, what? I thought they said she had disappeared. Somebody was like, she hadn't been live or did no videos in like a few months. And I was like, oh, maybe she got something else going on. I hope everything is okay with her. I was like, I hope everything is okay with her, you know, whatever. I don't never wish no bad on nobody. Because, like, they said she just up and disappeared out the blue. So I'm happy that she's well and she's back. I don't know what that means for May. But, you know. But, all right, y'all, let me get up off this phone. I'll talk to y'all later. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Love y'all. Be kind to someone. FYI, I did post a flyer. I'm going to be collecting funds for we're going to be feeding the homeless in November. It's been a little minute since I've been out there, but we're supposed to be going, I think, the first Sunday in November. So if you would like to donate, is a flyer on my personal page. I'm going to post it on YouTube too. You can send the funds directly to the 501c3, or you can send it to me. But if sending it to them will prevent me from having to go shopping to go get the stuff. You know what I'm saying? But whatever you feel more comfortable with, I'm going to post a flyer. Y'all enjoy the day. Do something positive. Do something good. Be kind. Let's be grown and set an example for these kids out here, y'all. All right, y'all. Toodles.